Hey everyone, for those who couldn't attend my session on Google Breakout Rooms for Google Meets, I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on what you missed. Before I do that, however, there are a couple of other extensions that you might want to get in order to make your Google Meet experience the best it can be with your students. The first is Nod. So if you're in the Chrome Web Store, and to get here, you can just Google Chrome Web Store. You're going to search for Nod, N-O-D. Nod, once you have added it to Chrome, so it's this top one right here, you're going to add it to Chrome. Once you've added Nod to Chrome and you open Google Meet, it's going to put this small toolbar in the top left-hand corner of your Google Meet. And your students can also download this extension. When they have it, that will give them the opportunity to raise their hand or add an emoji so that they can react to things that are going on in your classroom, or raise their hand to ask a question without interrupting the flow of the Google Meet. When they do click the raise the hand button, it is going to show you that they've raised their hand on the screen, and this won't go away until you click it away so that you know that you still have a pending question here. So that is, again, in the Chrome Web Store, it's called Nod. Another thing you might want to look into is Page Marker. Page Marker is just a doodling tool. It allows you to draw directly onto your screen. So it essentially turns your entire computer screen into a whiteboard. For those of us who have touch screens, you can take a pen and draw on your screen anywhere. So I would show it to you now. If you add it to Chrome and you run it, I would show it to you, but it does not work while Screencastify is running because that is not a compatible service, but it will work with pretty much anything else you open in Google Chrome. When you open that extension, it looks like a little red marker on top of a piece of paper. So again, it's called Page Marker. The next thing you're going to want is Google Meet Grid View Fix. Some of you may have Google Meet Grid View from the spring. The fix is just the updated version of that. So once you add that to Chrome, again, you're going to hit the Add to Chrome button. I already have it, so that's not there. But once you have Google Meet Grid View, it allows you to turn your Google Meet screen into a grid so that you can see more than one participant at a time. Right? The last extension that you're going to want to get is actually already visible to me here. It's Google Meet Attendees and Breakout Rooms. So it looks like a little person made out of a hanger, a coat hanger. So Google Meet Attendees and Breakout Rooms is breakout sessions for Google Meets. Again, I already have it, but if you don't, you're going to click the Add to Chrome button. And then once you have all of those extensions, or at least the ones you want, then you're going to open up Google Meet. Please don't open Google Meet before you've added these extensions because they won't come up. They'll need to refresh Google Meet. So open Google Meet after you have them. Once you've opened Google Meet, you're going to see that your attendance and group generator is already populated into your Google Meet. So for me, it's up here in the top right corner. I was in a meeting with Debbie before, so that's why this comes up. But if I refresh this attendance list, you'll see that there's nobody in my classroom yet. When your students do eventually join you in Google Meet, if you hit the refresh button, the attendance list will populate here for you. And then you can copy this list, which will allow you to very quickly take attendance. When you're ready to put your students into groups, you're going to very simply hit the bottom button. Let's go back to this. Show Group Generator. Again, you're going to be able to see a list of all of your students. So you're going to be able to decide how many groups you want. So say I had a class of 21 and I wanted to do 7 groups of 3. I'm going to select the number of groups as 7 and I'm going to generate groups. Obviously, nobody's in my class right now, so nobody's in my groups right now. But this program will automatically populate the names of the people and the groups that the system has put them in. You can also create your own groups independently. It's entirely up to you. No matter what, the number of groups you create is the number of Google Meeting sites that you're going to need to have. You do not have to open new tabs and create those sites yourself. Instead, go down to the bottom where it says Copy Meets Links, open up your chat, and then very simply paste the meeting links. This program will then generate 7 different Google Meet links for you to share with your students. You can then tell your students, Johnny, Sally, Becca, Bill, you're going to be in group 1. And Tommy and Alyssa and Caitlin, you're going to be in group 2. And those students will then go and click those meeting links themselves. As the administrator of this group, you have access to not only all 7 of the groups and the main screen, but you can kick kids out of groups, you can mute them, and have just greater control over the groups. A colleague of mine recommended before actually generating names for the groups. So if you wanted to say group 1 is the quiet room, and then I would type the links and maybe, or let's try that again. If we did group 1, let's paste our links and go. Group 1 is the quiet room. And maybe group 2 is one-on-one with Miss Sarnowski. To hit these enters, these spaces, I'm just holding the shift key and hitting enter. Maybe group 3 is book talk. Maybe group 4 is vocabulary discussion, whatever you want. And then you can hit enter, and maybe the kids then select which groups they want to join on their own. It's entirely up to you how you control the groups. So whether you assign kids to groups or you let this system generate the group's members for you. Again, when you open one of these meeting rooms, you're going to be able to open up any meeting room, and it will take you to a new Google tab. You're going to start that meeting for your students. I'm going to pop up here probably. You're going to start that meeting for your students. Please just tell your students in their main room where all the students are populated, this main classroom, as you could call it, just make sure they mute their microphone. So this way they cannot be heard in this main room. They can only be heard with their smaller group in their sub room. As the teacher, you might have all 7 of those meeting links open in your browser. You might want to pull them away and have them in small screens on your entire computer screen. It doesn't matter. Once you've muted yourself, no one can hear you. You can go into the meeting rooms and unmute yourself and talk in those individual meeting rooms with the smaller groups. You can come back to the main meeting room and speak to the whole class by unmuting yourself. So you have a great deal of control. I wish I had people in these meeting rooms to share this with you so it maybe looks a little bit more live and more realistic, but it's a lot like what Tom Montori showed us in our meeting the other day. It's just a quicker way to generate those meeting links without having to do it entirely on your own. So again, click the little guy with the hanger, show group generator, decide how many groups you want. Again, the number of groups, it equals the number of meeting links that is created for you. Copy those meet links and paste them into your chat. And then send your students on their way in their breakout rooms. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you with any of your Google needs.